Good afternoon, my name is Gary Lewis and welcome to today's episode of Lewis Presents, and today's episode is called St Patrick's and Star Wars. We're here at St Patrick's Cemetery here in Leytonstone Langthorne Road in the East End of London. This cemetery is a Catholic cemetery that was founded in 1861, opened in 1868. When it was opened there was only two Catholic cemeteries in the whole of London. St Mary's at Kensal Green and St Patrick's here in Leytonstone. It's now home to 170,000 ex-residents of the East End of London. There's 43 acres here in all, and there's some famous ex-residents that we're going to meet today on this tour of St Patrick's and Star Wars. Yeah, hi. I'm at the grave of John McCarthy. John McCarthy was the landlord of Mary Kelly, the fifth and final victim of Jack the Ripper. On the morning of the 9th of November 1888, John McCarthy sent out his assistant called Thomas Bowyer to collect the rent from Mary Kelly at 13 Miller's Court. Thomas Bowyer knocked on the door at 10 o'clock in the morning. There was no answer. Mary Kelly was 6 weeks behind with her rent. He went to the front window, which had been smashed but had a piece of rag. He pushed through the rag and he saw what was utter carnage. She had just been basically mutilated and torn apart. Thomas Bowyer went for John McCarthy. John McCarthy had a look, and then Thomas Bowyer went off to Bishopsgate Police Station, and they came along with the detectives, police officers, and the police officer broke down the door at 1:30 in the afternoon, and they said he slid on the floor with all the intestines and blood, and Mary Carfin had just been mutilated beyond recognition. When the autopsy happened, John McCarthy, the landlord here, identified Mary Kelly by her earlobes only. And when it was her funeral on the 19th of November 1888, John McCarthy sent his assistant along with 5 other people to pay their respects. So John McCarthy, he died in 1934. He was the landlord of Mary Kelly, last victim of Jack the Ripper. So we're in practically the middle of St Patrick's Cemetery, and we're at the grave of Mary Kelly. Marie Jeanette Kelly. They said she had names like Fair Emma, Ginger Emma, Mad Mary. She was born in 1863 in Limerick in Ireland, and as a young girl the family went to live in Wales, and she married a Welsh coal miner when she was 16, and sadly her husband died in a coal mining disaster when she was only 19 years old, so she was a widow. And then they said she moved to Cardiff and she met a cousin who introduced her to prostitution, and then from there she went off to Knightsbridge, where they said she worked in a West End hotel or West End brothel, and they said she was very popular among the clients. And then by 1888 she's living in Whitechapel at 13 Miller's Court off Dorset Street in the East End of London, and they said that she is believed to be known as the 5th chronological victim of Jack the Ripper. It was during the morning, they believe about 3 o'clock in the morning, that she took a client into her room. She was the only one where Jack the Ripper actually went into a bedroom, and she took this man in, and they said it took up to 2 hours for the carnage to happen. They said her throat was cut, her face was practically gone, her breasts, her stomach was literally lying on the side, all the flesh on her legs torn down to the bones. And it wasn't until about 10 o'clock in the morning when Thomas Bowyer found the lifeless body of Mary Kelly. And then on the 19th of November at 12:30 in the afternoon, Mary Kelly's body on a horse-drawn hearse was taken from Shoreditch Mortuary, and they said thousands of people lined the route. Women bowed, men tipped their hats. But by the time the hearse arrived here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at St Patrick's Cemetery, all the crowds were gone. Only 6 people attended the funeral of Mary Kelly. They said that she went into plot 10, row 10, grave 66. And she went down into the grave with about 5 other people. John McCarthy, our landlord, did have one of his assistants was here paying the respects. 4 women that were friends of Mary Kelly and another friend, but no family member could be traced. And then basically she was buried here, and she lay here for nearly 100 years. And then I was the postman round here in 1986, and a film was made here called A Prayer for the Dying, starring Mickey Rourke and Bob Hoskins. And a man was campaigning to get a grave for Mary Kelly, and he brought it to the attention of the American actor Mickey Rourke. So Mickey Rourke paid for the gravestone, and the reason why it looks so immaculate is he still pays for the maintenance of this grave today. So out of the 5 chronological victims, Mary Kelly, Annie Chapman and Elizabeth Stride have graves. The other 2, Polly Nichols and Catherine Eddowes, actually have plaques. But yeah, Mickey Rourke, the American actor, thanks to his generosity, Mary Kelly has a very lovely grave today.